To the casual observer, Dionne Warwick's success may have been virtually overnight, but as usually is the case, that is hardly true. It was a culmination of many years of preparation, wasn't it?
Well, actually, it's been 5 years in the making. It'll be 6 years Thanksgiving Eve, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, actually, I don't know, as far as preparation is concerned, I've always sang. Ever since I can remember, I've been singing all of my life.
Unlike some currently popular entertainers, though, yours was a trained voice. You had taken
No,
lessons in preparation, hadn't you?
afraid not.
You had sung, however, with groups and so forth.
Yes, with
beforehand.
gospel groups and choirs and things of that nature. I've always been a music student, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I play piano and organ, and I eventually wanted to teach music education.
Certainly the gospel background comes through frequently in the popular things you have done, doesn't it?
Well, it has to. That's my influence.
Mm-hmm. You certainly have had other influence as well, and I know that a couple of gentlemen have been very important to you. What would you say?
Quite important.
What would you say? Who would you say has been most important to your background?
I can't limit it, of course, to the two you happen to be talking about, Backrack and David, who write and produce everything that I've recorded. I have to also attribute a lot to Paul Cantor, who is my manager, and Mrs. Greenberg, who owns the company that I record for, and, of course, my parents.
Now, you have, the kinds of things you have done have not, for the most part, been protest music, which is
No.
very common these days. Is
Right.
there a reason for that?
Well, I don't have protest writers, so I think the only thing we've done that's been comparatively close to a protest song has been The Windows of the World, which was the release before I Say a Little Prayer,
Mm-hmm.
which actually is just a message song to kind of subtly get people aware not only of what's going on around them, but what's happening to themselves.
Do you think the protest things and some of the other songs recently, which have had great influence recently, what do you think of this influence in the popular area? Do you think it's important?
I think it's quite important. If the only way you can get people to sit down and listen to what you're going to say is through song, then do it.
You think then that the popular music idiom has become much more important to our society than it is
Quite a
previously?
bit more, quite a bit. It's gotten to the point now where everybody's sitting and listening to what's being said, rather than just moving to the music or the beat or whatever's happening. It's quite necessary to know what's going on other than musically.
Dionne, you've had a number of popular recordings now, and you've traveled quite a ways around the world. You've performed, I guess, almost everywhere in the free world, at least.
Right.
What is your favorite country?
Oh, USA, of course.
No, we'll have to
but
exclude
other than
that.
home, I would say France.
For what reasons?
Oh, I just love France. Well, I think because they love me. That's true everywhere I've been, but I've worked, I think, quite a bit more there and have acquired quite a few friends there, and I just feel quite at home there.
Do you find the reaction different?
No, by no means. This has been asked quite a few times by many people, the difference between countries, and I find no difference at all because the only barrier, of course, is language.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, I have been one of the singers in the States that have been covered by other artists in their own language, so they're aware of what I'm saying.
To explain just a bit, covered means that they have recorded the same tune.
Exactly, in their language. I think that people, regardless of their heritage, are people. And if they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, I'm sorry, they don't like you.
As you were going into this business and preparing for it, did you have any favorite entertainers?
No, I was what was known as a long-haired square. I never really was interested in rock or R&B or anything that was current. I was the Bach contemporary. That's what I was. And my interest became aroused while I was doing background work and demonstration records in New York. And this happened while I was in college, during semester breaks and vacations. And actually, during the summer vacation is when I was approached by Burton Howell to record. And I recorded the following summer and went back to school and didn't even think about it. And I received the telegram a month before November, which was October,
Yeah.
saying, hey, you got a hit record, come on home, finish the semester, that's it.
Did you finish school?
I have almost a half a year to complete to get my diploma.
You plan to go back?
Eventually, yes.
You didn't have any then current popular performers whom you, they say, idolized. That's not a
No,
very good term, but do
I
you now?
didn't. No, I'm afraid not. I enjoy anything that's good. I don't idolize anybody. I idolize maybe the progress that's being made by certain entertainers, but as far as their talent is concerned, I think that it's given from whom I happen to believe in, God, and they're utilizing it the best of their ability, as I am.
I talked to a very successful young singer not too long ago, John Davidson, as a matter
Oh,
of fact, who's
yes.
made some fine recordings,
Hmm.
but who is not yet satisfied with what he has achieved. He was telling me that he is constantly working to communicate better. Do you find this problem of communication one that you have to constantly work on?
Communication is very important, of course. It all has to do with what you're trying to communicate, though. A lot of people don't realize that just recording and portraying a song is not quite all that's needed. You need a little bit of, I think, involvement of what you're doing. You know, if you're singing a song about happiness, and at one time in your life you had to have been happy, so this is what you're singing about. And sadness, that's part of life. You know, and everything I think that's being done today is related to life. So communication automatically comes about. Now, of course, you can get songs that are just songs. There are songs and there are songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I, fortunately, have been one of the young people who have gotten with two people who know what songs are all about.
Singers have to be actors just a bit then, is that true?
Just about,
Do you-
really. I don't know what it is. I have a belief in Hal David, who is the lyricist of the team. He has such a way with words. You know, like instead of love meaning the four-letter word it means anything you want it to mean, as far as he's concerned. And this is the way that I convey his music, because that's how much I believe in him. And as far as Bert is concerned, on arrangements, there's nobody that can touch him. So, like, we're known in the business as the triangle marriage that worked.
That's an interesting comment. Some of the thoughts of Miss Dionne Warwick, and thank you very much for being with us today.
You're quite welcome.
And, of course, Dionne was in town to sing at Dayton. We'll be back with you in just 1 minute.